Do you have debilitating low back pain? Try these 3 methods in order to either mitigate or get rid of the low back completely. And that is 1, learn how to brace properly. 2, increase your mobility through different movements. And then number 3, strengthen your posterior chain as much as possible. So let's dig a little deeper into each 3 of those modalities. So the first one is learning how to brace properly. So there's a few different things. I'm going to list them from easiest all the way to hardest in order to give you an idea of where to start when learning how to brace properly. So the first one is you can do different breathing exercises. So in a position where you're either relaxed or resting, you need to learn how to breathe while bracing. So there's a product called Breath Belt out there that kind of helps a lot with that and cueing yourself how to brace while breathing. The second one is doing different primitive movements such as bear crawls in order to learn how to brace properly and move at the same time. So the reason those primitive movements are a little bit easier to do versus a bunch of different modalities is because the weight is distributed amongst all 4 of your appendages rather than just trying to do it in a straight up position where you're going to have the most pressure on your low back. And then number 3 is loaded carries, which again, a lot of people do farmer's walks and other variations of this, but the reason I put this last is because in a vertical position or standing up, this is going to put the most pressure on your low back. But learning how to brace properly under load while moving with weight is going to help you learn how to brace your core properly. So the second modality I kind of talk about is getting more mobile through different movements. So what I mean by that is trying to learn how to strengthen yourself in different positions while moving. So I'm not saying do a ton of mobility drills in order to get more mobile. What I'm talking about is trying to learn how to squat through a full range of motion or deadlift from the floor. So I have one client in particular that comes to mind when talking about this. She came to me with shoulder and hip pain. So when we first started, she couldn't pick anything up off the floor without having hip or low back pain. So what we did was we used a barbell and did RDLs to the top of the knee to begin with, and that's all she could do. So as we got stronger through that movement, we started getting a little bit lower towards the knee and started doing pin pulls. And then from there, we progressed to the floor to the point where she didn't have any low back pain when picking up 135 pounds off the ground. So that it takes time, but once you do this, this helps you become more functional and lets you get back to doing a lot of the things you like to do. And then number 3 is get your posterior chain as strong as possible. So what I mean by that is getting the low back muscles, the glutes and hamstrings much stronger. So a lot of times I'll have clients come in and we do a 45-degree back extension and I'll have them do sets of 20 on this. And the first thing they complain about is low back pain. So if you're not used to doing this for a lot of reps and you start having that low back pain, a lot of times it's because your glutes aren't firing properly. So by learning how to do this over and over again to fire the glutes harder, it's going to take the pressure off the low back. Now, after doing this video, just be aware that I'm not a physical therapist, a medical doctor, or anything of that sort. I'm a strength conditioning coach talking through my personal experiences with my own training and the training of my clients. So if you have any further questions on this topic, please reach out and let me see how I can help you the best way possible. Until next time, I'll see you guys around.